Hey there. Wait, the mic close. Huh. Oh. This is a this is my welcome to my live stream. I will be reviewing One Piece 1089. Holy fuck! Just looking at myself here. I feel like I need something to calm down because this is fucking awesome. We are back after I think it's been what's beginning of August. I think it's been since March since we last saw the Straw Hats, and we get them here. I'll save the part where they show up because it's awesome. Wait, where's my mouse again? God damn this mouse! I got too many screens. I just gotta check my Twitch stream. So we had an intermission, which I talked at length about in some other videos and stuff, and we finally get back to Egghead Island, which we touched basically at the end of the last chapter. But most of the chapter actually covers stuff that covers some of the effects of stuff. But I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Come on, hold on. Mouse, what is up with this mouse? I think the battery might be dying. Hold on. See, hopefully not. Here we go. So, to go over a little bit something. I gotta get one other thing ready too here. Come on, Mr. Mouse, don't fail on me. So we left the Straw Hats in a precarious predicament for them with all of them fighting the Seraphim one way or the other. I know that I got the map actually. I'll put it up here briefly, and I got my notes. Here, I made these notes. There we are. There's just a second here. My mouse. USB. I'll pull this back up. Made a little. Oh, there it is. So I can pull these up. Come on. Fuckhead. Just a second. Why does it keep doing that to me every time? I thought this photo's copied. Fucking old tablet mine. I got these layouts of the of the lavosphere, the lab, and I want to like copy it, and it keeps frigging around with me. I don't know if I'm supposed to make sure they. Oh yeah, they didn't work. Okay, hold on. I need this done. Once I get this done, I can get going. Let's do this to me. Which is, it just doesn't copy when I think they do. Here we go. So take all these. Second here. Copy to the USB. Give it a second. I was gonna pull them up here. So we left the Straw Hats with some different spots. I'll go over in my head here. We had Kaku. We had initially the Kaku, Luffy, and Zoro are at the top fighting S Hawk and S Bear, and that scene landed when S Hawk disappeared to pursue some of the other. No, yeah, wait a minute. I gotta redo that because I'm recording here for my video later. There we go. So we left off with the Straw Hats. With Kaku, Luffy, and Zoro fighting two of the S Seraphims, S Hawk and S Bear, and S Hawk leaves, and Zoro and Kaku go after that. S Snake went after the group where it was York and Lilith, Usopp, and Frankie here, and yeah, and then that was what we found out later was that S Snake was under the orders. Well, all of them were under the orders of York to attack and cause chaos. And she had successfully, S-Snake successfully froze Usopp, Lilith, and York, and only partially did it to Frankie, and then left. And we found out later she had that was part of the plan, and she unfreezes the stone process on York. Then we had Dusty, Sanji, and Jinbei together. And were they fighting one of the other ones? I don't know. Atlas, Robin, and Chopper were together, and then Edison, Brooke, and Nami. No, wait a minute. Let me get this going here. Why not? So take this out. It just works this time. There they are. Come on. There they are. Excuse me. Okay. I think I'm finally set up good. All right, so wait, I had this picture here. Oh, I should have drew them all together. Let's see. Just put this up in a second. Like that. There we go. So this was the layout of the level sphere that I had drawn and put in one of my videos back in February or March, and that's where we have the Straw Hats there with let's see here. With who was that in the middle? So you see we have these three buildings. The tall one is the main lab. At the top is where Luffy and Lucci are fighting S Bear, and S Hawk, Kaku, and Zoro were there. And then I actually have this X differently, huh? Let's see. So who was over there? I think that was B, C, building C. Yeah, that over there on the left, that was where Sanji and Lilith and Frankie and everyone were. I'll do this later in the video. I'll just leave this alone. They were in different spots. that part today is not as important. I'll have to fix that at another time. Maybe I'll go over that about what happened. But we ended that part off knowing they were all fighting them. Actually, I'll go on here and look quickly. Checked here. 10. So they're together there. Let me look quickly. Like that. 75, 76. Yeah, then they're fighting there. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Anyways, we had a long intermission. I'll forget about it because I should looked it over later. But we had this long intermission in which we saw mainly what happened with Garp and some other sword members saving Kobe. Garp unfortunately got left behind. Next week we saw more of what happened at Reverie. That was really big too because we saw how the successful raid of Reverie, the Tenryubito City, and we saw Cobra's meeting with the Gorosei, which got hinted at when we saw the Reverie arc between Whole Cake and Wano. Then we saw the fight between Blackbeard and Law and Kid and Shanks, as well as we met the first member of the Holy Knights, and we learned about Dragon and the others' meetings about their plans a little bit to fight the we tried to get a clarification on that, what they're going to do next with the Seraph, take out the Tenryubito, but we can assume they're planning on fighting the Holy Knights. They know they're going to be what's the word? They're going to be not dispersed. What's the word when they're deployed? They're going to be the Holy Knights have been like rallied and probably going to be deployed now to find the revolutionaries. So we actually start this chapter. We start this chapter with some other people around the world, especially in the East Blue. What is this? We start in a village where Luffy lives, I forget the name of this one. Again, I'm bad with locations that aren't in the Grand Line. And we get them. The people here are getting the news about about Garp being missing after the raid on Hachinu Island, and we see that old man who's pissed at the one who always was pissed about that Luffy became a pirate and how it's gonna ruin their name. And he's talking with the young lady there, and they're worried about Garp. So they must know Garp personally. I'm guessing he visited there. Maybe that was his hometown too. And they're upset that Garp's like missing. And they're like, what's happened? Did he? And the old man asked the woman, is he really missing? Or they didn't say dead, right? Oh yeah, he's the mayor. So the mayor here, and then the mayor's like, oh, we shouldn't worry about him. He is a living legend. But it looks like the young lady there is quite distraught a bit that he's who's written to me? Someone. Oh, birthday wishes. Yeah, by the way, it's my birthday, so I'm getting birthday wishes everywhere. Gotta turn my phone off. Anyways, I want to get back to this. Then we see the what's her name? That is that woman in the mountains who raised Luffy and Ace and Sabo, or not really Sabo. They're showing them see the news, and then so we get that bit with the reaction of some other people finding Garp, and then we switch to the something. Then we switch to is we find out about how the fallout of the destruction of Lulusia was felt around the world. Oda actually jumps between all the blues here. I don't even know what some of these locations are. I'm not sure if they're ones we saw before, but he starts from east and south, west, and north. Actually, that West Blue one, isn't that the play where Sai and his father, Don Grimjow from Don, what's his name, are from? I'm pretty sure that's that one in West Blue. And everyone's reacting to those tsunamis and earthquakes happening as a result of the of the destruction of Lulusia. This is a very important part too that I'll get to it. So we get a little voiceover from the narrative about how this earthquake was the worst ever recorded. Nothing ever matched it before in known history to these people, and and how it caused destruction across the world. Oh, and we also even jump to some of the Grand Line areas, and we see Laboon again reacting. I don't know if it's showing anything falling on him. He looks like he's right next to the red wall still. Then we briefly cut to Water 7, and we see I can't remember his name, the mayor there, Frankie's brother. And then we jump to the Navy base with the other Vice Admiral. I forget her name. She's the one who caught Bon Clay. And then even also, I think we briefly cut to Wano and we see Momonosuke there. And the voiceover continues pointing out how this thing no one could figure out where the epicenter came from. So the significance went unnoticed. What's that woman's name? Yeah, I wanted to pull out the Vice Admirals quickly. I think she's a Vice Admiral. Come on. Come on, Mr. Mouse. There. Where are you? All right, hold on a second. My mouse is dying on me, I think. I gotta get a new one plugged in. Shit. All right, put battery in here. That one. Oh, what the? This is my kind of day. How's it going there? Come on. Oh, Mr. Mouse. What are you doing over there? Come on. Isn't that woman? All right, I'm so sick of not knowing these characters' names. Thought she was there. All right, screw it. I can't find that woman's name. Sure, I know she's the one that caught Bon Clay. I think she's the one, the very busty one with the pink hair. Anyways, I'm going on long enough with that. And it continues to, yeah. The next we continue here too with other examples of what the damage of the destruction was, where we see the island, what's his name island, Ivankov's island, where the revolutionaries are now, how them and some other islands um, became flooded as a result of this incident. Do we even see that the shoreline on the Ivankov's island was gone, and we see another island where it's, I don't think this one is named, but it's like completely flooded up, and there's ships. People are fleeing to their ships because they were submerged, and their little boats and such to escape. And and we finished that part going back to Luffy's island, where it's like it looks like a high tide is coming in, and the mayor, I think it's the mayor. They show his face there. Him or some other people are remarking how it shouldn't be high tide now. The schedule's off. It's weird. And so, yeah, we get, what is that? We get like 3 or 4 pages of how this happened. Oh yeah, I missed a little bit here, but I was kind of jumping ahead, but I wanted to see those other people that were happened. But it shows here, the narrator tells us how this happened. A lot of this devastation happened 6 days after the island of Lucia was destroyed, and we see other people fleeing it. They even show a prison here where something's, maybe that's from the earth. That must be impelled down, probably feeling the results of the earthquake. And they briefly show Eam here too, and I don't know if he's like shuddering, like he's and feeling happy because of what he did, but it shows him there briefly, and then we cut to this thing where we see where Lucia was, and it's a giant hole in the ground. And it's the ensuing earthquakes caused the global sea level to rise by approximately 1 meters, not liter. And then we see some voiceovers of people on the radio, and they're saying we reached the spot where the kingdom was, but there's nothing left but a big hole. And right away, anyone who's been watching this reading and watching One Piece for a long time is gonna probably see a similarity here to Enies Lobby and the giant hole that's underneath it. So the question raises right away, because this weapon we know is something that Vegapunk created. Did he base it on some ancient weapon, something that the government has but they didn't mention here yet, and that destroyed something there a long time ago? I actually had made a note once. I was thinking once. I never put a note on what I was. I made this thought. I had this thought once where like I was thinking maybe that's the island that Enni's Lobby is over could have been one of the major spots of the ancient kingdom, and they put Enni's Lobby there to like cover up the like and just have people not like to make it kind of a symbolism like justice was prevailed and was destroyed this island that had been there before that was the enemy of the world government. Hold on a second, I'm gonna turn my air conditioning off. Excuse me. How's that going? Okay. So finally we get to the main action now. This is so good. We started by building up and showing all the ships of the Marines lining up around Egghead Island. Uh, and we start with like the animals, those mechanized animals that the Lilith was controlling. It's starting to are doing their duty here to protect the island, but some of them are getting blasted away already. Um, it looks like it's causing that giraffe one's causing significant damage to this one, and then the narrator goes over talking about how many ships there are, and so there's 100 of these ships with 20 great warships and a total of 30,000 Marines. So we start this next page here with a bit of the narrator still does this little building up of showing who's here, but we start with a little with seeing one of the mech monsters getting destroyed, and it's clearly Kizaru is the one doing it. He's protecting the ship he's on, which obviously also has Saint Saturn on, which I don't think any of these other Marines even know. But actually, they clarified no one should know. Maybe some of the other top officers, but definitely no one else than them. Maybe some servants. And we have this bit here where Sentomaru is talking with Kizaru. Obviously, Sentomaru is still holed up in one of the labs on the lower area of the Egghead. So clearly, Kizaru's trying to. It seems like Kizaru was trying to negotiate with him. And Sentomaru somehow can see what's going on out here because he gets mad at Kizaru and says, "Didn't I tell you not to destroy those things?" And then Kizaru just says, "Well, they started it, so I'm gonna finish it." And then the voiceover continues a little more with showing that there are 9 vice admirals on this mission as well, and 2 of them are ones we know right away. There's the one named Dahl, the recent one who's introduced, who's at one of the nearby Navy bases. That last we saw was talking to Garp when he came there to pick up Kobe and some others to come with him on their raid to Hachiosu Island. And there's also the guy, what's his name? Is that Doberman? Doberman's also there. The one with the all the scars, and he's got the little mustache, long hair. I don't recognize any of these others unless they were at Marineford. So they're all there. Some of them are very interesting character designs too. There's this guy with like a long neck, and he's got like all these bad chins, and this one has a really epic beard. I like the look on that one. He's got the sunglasses. uh, so while this is happening, so we switch over to Kizaru and we see that him and his men. Is that him just eating himself or his men? He's sitting there eating a bowl of noodles. I think his men are eating with them, or is that just him eating a lot of it himself? Because there's a big pot there they show. So Kizaru kind of saying, "Oh, you're not making this easy for me, Sentomaru. Please, just come out. Let's just end this here now." And Sentomaru, he knows the position he's in. I'm surprised how he's very bold here. He's like, "Fat chance. I'm not giving up, and we're gonna be ready for you. Don't you better not try that." He said, "You better not try that again." So I don't know if trying to assault already. That backfired. And then Sentomaro goes on to point out, like, and they show him inside with being flanked by a couple of the other Mark IIIs, I think they're called. And Sentomaro here expresses like a little remorse, like that you that you used to work. Kizaru used to worked with Vegapunk to make the lasers that the pacifistas used, and we kind of figured that out before, but I think this is the first time it's confirmed. And Sentomaru's like, I can't believe after all that time working with Vegapunk, you would come here and destroy him, kill him. And we get a brief little panel flashback there with that Sentomaru's saying this, and he's it's showing him and Vegapunk and Kizaru, Vegapunk, and Sentomaru probably like 20 years ago or so, because Vegapunk is you can see his form. We can't see his head, but he's still got his black hair, and it shows Sentomaru as a little kid. We only see the backside of him, but it's clearly him because he's got the same physical features, except he's not as bulky yet. He's probably like 12 or 13, I'm guessing. Not quite puberty, because he looks like he's bigger. And it shows Kizaru in the middle, and he looks different too. His hair looks funny there. It's like, because his hair is just the dark. It looks, it's not colored in. It shows him just, and he's not in a Navy uniform, but he's sitting in between Sentomaru and Vegapunk, and he's shooting. He's got his finger or his other hand, and he's shooting lasers and showing off to Sentomaru and Vegapunk. A very cute moment because Sentomaru's like, "Oh, this is so cool! You can shoot lasers," and Vegapunk there looks kind of happy too to be watching that, and obviously it would help his research. And then we get this moment here. This really pisses me off about Kizaru, but it's just how he is, and Sentomaru. I'm a little disappointed with Kizaru because it's like he really just shows how he just follows orders a little, how do I put it, without having any remorse for who they could be harming. He just cares about this justice of sorts that they have, the Marines, because he just says, he tells Sentomaru, you can't protect Vegapunk now, or anyone, no one else can, because he chose to research the Void Century. I'm just a cog in the machine, so I have to do this. It's my job. So, wait a minute, let me move this over a little bit. Come on. And so, it is. Sorry. And then Kizaru goes on here. Oh yeah, as we go on here too, we show a panel where we see some of the Mark IIIs at the shore helping, aligned with the damn. Excuse me. Damn. Some of the Mark IIIs are lined up with those mechanized animals to help protect the island shore here. And as we're seeing that, and some of the ships get closer, Kizaru going on and said that we shouldn't be fighting like this. It almost sounds like Kizaru is trying to say, hey, if you give up now, then tomorrow, I'll put in a good word for you to to let you back into the Marines. Hold on a second. Yeah, quarterback. And he continues, Kizaru continues here saying, since I'm talking with you now, and the level sphere stuff is all, the defenses are all up, I'm assuming that Rob Lucci failed. Uh, and tomorrow just says like, yeah, thanks to the Straw Hats, really giving them credit there. Mm. Now we switch over. Oh yeah, there is a vice. That one I said does know about this guy. So we briefly switch over to Saint Garcia, and he's talking to I think he's talking to a how can that happen? He's talking to I think yeah, Vice Admiral Doberman is in here with him. So the Vice Admirals know he's there, at least this one. And he's like he orders Doberman, yeah, and he is flanked by some of those guards that we see at Marijois, so they're there too. And he's sitting there eating a meal, and he tells Doberman, make sure that no one will find out that I'm here. And then Doberman's like, yeah, of course, sir. And then he's going over the article that we saw that Morgan said he was going to publish, and he's happy with it. So it reads here. He reads it aloud for us. The Straw Hat Pirates storm Egghead to take Vegapunk Argo. Hold on. God damn. And one of the guards saying, "Yeah, that's one of Morgan's articles." So, and then he asked Doberman for an update on what's actually going on here, an assessment of the situation. And then Doberman goes on to point out, well, we never heard from Cypher Pole Zero on whether or not they succeeded, and then we can draw some, we can make some assessments, ascertain what's going on because Sentomaru is resisting. And then he points out, like, so it seems safe to assume that the Vegapunk and the satellites are still up in the lava stratum, and they have the other the four remaining Seraphim there with them. And we get a little mini drawings of all of them, of Vegapunk, the satellites, and the Seraphim. And then we get the next thing point out, and then Doberman continues pointing out, it seems that they must have joined forces with Emperor Straw Hat and his crew. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. His crew has 10 members. Oh, they're just saying how many members. And then he points out, we had Stussy, Kaku, and Lucci there, and they had come with a plethora of like other Cypherpole agents, but they probably were captured by the Pacifista, the advanced Pacifista that Sentomaru now controls. And then he points out that the dome is still at its 100% shield capacity, so we know no one's going to be able to get out of there. And but also because of this, we have no idea what happened in the last day or so. Wow, because of this. Hold on, goddamn. You know what it is? I had the air on, and this makes my sinuses act up. Anyway, so now we get to now. So next, Saturn goes on to ask like what happened to the other scientists and staff that Egghead had on it. So we find out this is also the next day from what Doberman says, because he answers Saturn by saying they evacuated, but we know exactly where they are. And Saturn coldly tells Doberman to go destroy those ships of the evacuated staff scientists. That bastard. So they are clearly going to try and erase most of this situation so that the truth doesn't get out about what happened here. They want the story to be the way Morgan's is portraying it and no contradiction to come. And Dobrin goes on one more point to point out that also look at that. He says, Saint Saturn, your worship. Jesus. That's not worth worship. I wonder how that would look in the official translation. Interesting. So Doberman goes on to point out that Bonnie is on the island, and and Saturn says, recalls that's Kuma's daughter, and he says like we no longer have any use of her, which makes me think that that maybe they were that at one point they had Kuma comply with working for them by saying, well, go after your daughter, kind of like how Big Mom and Beige used Zeph to make Sanji comply with going to Whole Island for the wedding. But he's interestingly, Saturn says that we can just leave her alone, and we have no use for her. Yeah, so we're not gonna. They're gonna leave her of all people alone. And by the way, that's all we see of her on this episode, this chapter, I believe, unless I missed something. We still don't know. We still don't know what happened with her after she saw her father's memories. And now this is where we start building up to the best part of the chapter. So we get this Kizaru. We start with someone reports to Kizaru that we picked up a transmission, a long-range transmission. Damn, hold on, Mike. I'm editing it out. And this is great. So it's a transmission. We find that it's being sent to oh, there's the person there. So when we were having that conversation with so we see a Navy member who relays calls from that they receive at Razorwell to the to the Gorosei. And then also we go back to Kizaru, and one of the men next to him reminds him that you have those because you have a black transponder, you can listen to the call too. So we jump to the room of authority, and we see the other 4 Gorosei there. 2 of them are sitting down. Oh, I gotta pull up their names. The samurai guy and the Gorbachev are sitting down. Let's see, Gorosei. Hold on. Come on. Oh yeah. So who is it? We got Saint Shepherd and Saint Marcus or Saint Mars. Mars and Peter. They're standing around, one in the back, one in the front, and Top Man and what's the other guy? Ethan Barron are sitting down together in that middle couch. And so the call comes in, and someone says, and it's York is the one who comes in. And she's like, hey, what are you guys doing? Why are you killing me? After all I did and helped you with, telling you about Stella's betrayal. And so then St. Mars says, you helped us there, but you're a Vegapunk too. And then she's like, yeah, but I had no interest in the voice entry. Why would I blab about it? And then what's his name? St. Ethan Barron comes in and says, you've done well to survive this long. Didn't CP0 pay you a visit? What happened? So he's figuring, how did you survive, right? He's like, damn it. How the hell did Cypher Pole Zero fail? Those were the best agents we had. Clearly, so it does seem clear here that Stussy's betrayal, that she was working for the it was really part of Vegapunk's coalition, was not known to them. They should not have failed in their mission, basically, except, of course, the Straw Hats are there. Even if she didn't betray them, I think the Straw Hats could have prevailed. It would have been tough with the Seraphim there, though. And then she points out, well, I'm alive here, so you figure it out. I have the Seraphim under control, my control. You do realize that. Do you know how tough those things are? So she's basically saying, I liked how she said that. She's basically saying, even if you did send the best, the Seraphim can't be rivaled by them. I like that. And now this is where it gets becomes interesting because now, as the other York goes on to say, "What do you got this fleet coming around my island for? Are you trying to take me out with this now?" And then Saint Peter answers by saying, "Actually, we had a change of heart. Perhaps you are basically saying you may be used to us after all, because we're thinking that if you are, because you're a satellite, you might be able to replicate the mother flame." Oh, okay. So that's the thing that let me check. Is that the name of the thing that they used, right? Let's see. Where was that? 1085. Hold on. Uh, that's where he fights. No, 1086 then. They mentioned that before, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was this one. uh, yeah. The mother flame, right? So the mother flame was mentioned in 10. What was that? 1086, 3 chapters ago, when he when Eam ordered the Gorosei to use it and deploy to Lulusia. Okay. Uh, so then Yor goes on like, "Oh, you want something? You do want something for me. I'm glad I sent it. Oh, she sent them the mother flame? Oh, okay. I missed this part before. I'm assuming from this conversation that the mother flame was not that Vegapunk must have still had the mother flame, but then York sent it to them as a way of like saying, "Hey, help me out. Let me be a celestial dragon. I'll give you this thing to as a show of faith that I have something you need, and then you can make me the celestial dragon, like a trade, right?" And then so Saint Topman says, "Yeah, this is a special request we're acting on." And then so York I'm just a little confused. Something was written weird there. But then York's like, "Wait, a request from who?" And she's like, "Oh, if you want that power station, I think she's saying I need to make it here, so you can't don't destroy the lab." Yeah, she's saying don't destroy. If you want that power station and you want me to help you, you can't destroy this island. And then she said, "Promise me, if you promise not to destroy my island, the island, I'll give you what you need. I'll help you." Uh, and then so Saint Mars says, "Yeah, okay, we'll agree to that." And she continues, "Yeah, I still want to be a celestial dragon." And one of them answers, maybe Mars again, "Yeah, we can arrange that. You got a deal." Well, she says, "You got a deal." This is great. She goes, "Oh, and there's just one more thing." She screams, "Save me! Straw Hat Luffy's here, and he's going to kill me." Oh, I fucking laughed my ass off an hour. I read this an hour ago and I laughed my ass off. He's listening in on the call. Let me see that. All the Gorosei, actually in that panel from Mars, but they show the Gorosei and Kizaru like, "Oh, fuck, what?" And we get this big wide ass panel at the end. This is fucking awesome. And then, oh god, so I'll just, this panel is awesome. So we have all the Straw Hats. So York's laying in the middle. Oh, there's a fucking break next week. God damn it. York's laying down in the middle. Oh god, you have to make it look like that. Never mind. You have to see the panel. Oh, Bonnie is there. Duh. What the hell? Bonnie's there. Oh, I didn't even see her. Okay. York's in the middle of the floor. Storo is sitting off to her right with I think that's Enma he's holding. He's holding Enma over her. Usopp's on the left. He's the one having her talk. So they forced her to talk to the girls. They must have captured her. So we know that they won. This is after they somehow subdued the Seraphim, and we don't see any of them here. Fucking so all the other Straw Hats are here. Jinbei's in the right. They're all eating too. They're like all just replenishing themselves. Sanji's like in the back middle, giving everyone food. You know, Jinbei's off to the right behind Zoro eating. And Luffy's right there in front of York, and Nami's right between her and him and Zoro, kind of watching. She's holding some kind of gun too, probably to make sure York doesn't try anything funny. Bonnie's off to the left and parallel with Luffy watching. And in the back on the left side, Brooke and Vegapunk are listening in, and then behind them is Chopper and Frankie, who appear to be eating and replenishing themselves. And in the middle back is Sanji and Lucci with his pigeon. So friggin' Lucci's there too. This is what the icing on the cake for me. Lucci's fucking there, listening in. I can't wait to see if he decides to defect after this shit. I don't see Kaku or Stussy here, but I don't think so. Oh, and they got York there all chained up. They have some cuffs around her arms to keep her there. Oh my god. So they look like they're in the main lava sphere again, the one where Luffy was fighting the S-Bear before with Lucci. I think that's where they are. So York goes, please crush these cycles. Continuing where she left off, save me. And Nami's like, everything's coming into focus now. And yeah, Zoro's got this big grin, and Nami too are like, we got you where we want you. And Usopp too is kind of like, haha. Although I think he's looking a little scared at the same time. And then Luffy and Bonnie are just there eating and looking down at her. I think it's Luffy says, yeah, so can we use her as a human shield to get away? And Bonnie's like, oh shit, does that mean we're under siege? And Vegapunk too's like, that's how this is gonna work. And in the corner we get that little comment at the end, the little thing, and it's like the grand conspiracy has been foiled, and crew's all together, and it's end break next week again. Oh, and Lucci just looks sort of pissed there. He's all beat up. His outfit's all beat up, and Sanji's looking pretty happy. He's like heading toward Nami maybe or somebody else because he's got hearts in his eyes. So he's going around passing food. We don't see any of the Seraphims here at all, and yeah, we still don't see Kaku or Stussy. Oh, this is fucking funny as hell though. Oh my god. I love that. I can't wait for this next week too, because I bet Luffy's gonna say something to the Gorosei. This is too much. Oh, good golly. So what the hell did they do? So now we gotta like think, what the hell did they do to stop the Seraphim finally? Hopefully they didn't destroy them. And we don't see any of the other we still don't see any of the other and Tegan's got his review up. I can't wait to see his reaction. So a couple things to take away from this that I really have so one, Kizu definitely is overly loyal to the idea of serving the friggin' saints, the Gorosei and everyone. And because he just calls himself a cog in a machine. He talks about how his fate was sealed, Vegapunk's, by researching the Void Century. We see that Saint Saturn is going to make sure this incident is covered up. That's why he's there like the oversight. He's like the oversight. Even though Kizu's there, he's going to make sure, because this has so much, because they're probably, that's why. They're probably concerned because some of those other scientists could know something about the Void Century also, that they also have to get rid of them, as well as make sure that this incident is covered up. My god. Next we see another thing of interest is that the Gorosei I don't think they were gonna still trying to uphold this deal. I think they would still. I feel like York here, as much as she betrayed Vegapunk, she's in trouble here, and I think they're gonna she's gonna have to align herself with helping them now to get it away. Because kind of like think of her as similar to Caesar. He's still a fucking bastard who treated kids like lab experiments, but he helped them out later, and he had to. I think York here is gonna have to do the same thing, and I don't, even if she did help them with this mother flame, the power. Also there's something seen here that when I said when they called it a power station, that there's a note saying that might mean like a fusion reactor. So I wonder if that means that they did create something that is almost nuclear. That mother flame and that the way it shoots those lasers, based, I'm sure that too is probably based on Kizaru's abilities. Probably has to use nuclear power or something similar. Uh, Actually, no, I see what's going on here. York is, yeah, York thinks she's gonna. I still think that York's gonna have to align with them, but she's clearly hoping that she can be saved here because she's freaking out here when they force her to talk to the Gorosei. But she's hoping she's probably to be saved. This is such a good panel. I think I'm gonna make part of this panel like a print. This is just so good. The look of satisfaction, especially on Zoro's face, is my favorite. Yeah, I think Usopp is probably more afraid of anything. Bonnie doesn't look too afraid. Sanji certainly isn't. Oh my god! And the other thing too, of course, the hole, that hole in the ground, that's got to be related to something with Eni's lobby. It just has to. It just looks exactly like it. There's just nothing built over it now. Hey, let's pull up a picture of Eni's lobby. Yeah, so it's got the one side, the tower that was like. Wait, wasn't there another spot too? Because it connects to the gates of justice. But it's like a big island in a circle with two paths on either, small islands on either end. Where I think one was the main entrance, and the other one is probably the Tower of Law, where it connects to the gates of justice, and that's where the and then it's got the big fence surrounding it to try to keep other ships out. Right, yeah. There's that picture there. The Tower of Law is there, and there's a tower, the Gates of Justice. Oh yeah, and there's that other little island that has a drawbridge that go over to the Gates of Justice. So yeah, this is clearly a hole very similar to that now. And yeah, that was neat to see all the other blues here. Good golly. All right, I'm going to end this video here. Oh, I forgot, last thing, I forgot they have a cute little cover request. It shows like a cow mink. I'm guessing it's a cow mink. It just is a cow. It's like given, Nami's like sitting at a desk working on charts, and a cow comes there and gives her milk. Oh, and it's got a message from Sanji. The stars outside shine almost as beautiful as you. Would you like to come with me? All right, I'm going to end this video here and do some more cover.